Hey SMS, this is Mr. Doust representing your social studies teachers. We are back at school after a nice break, and this is a special year. Every 4 years, our country gets an opportunity to elect a new leader. Iowa has a special role in being the first state that gets that opportunity. We get to show which candidates we think represent our country the best. The next two videos will help you understand what a caucus is and how Iowa uses it to do that. So listen up. You will get a chance to choose in a little bit.
The caucus system is unique and different from the traditional primary system that you see in states like New Hampshire. Community members are going to gather at local schools and churches and other meeting places to support their favorite candidate, and the format of the event depends on which political party is running the caucus. Iowa is divided into counties, and those counties are divided into precincts. Each precinct has a set number of delegates to assign, so we're going to say our example precinct has 6 delegates. To keep things simple, we're going to say we only have 10 caucus goers in our precinct, but in reality, you could have 100 or 500 caucus goers at a precinct, but you still only have a fixed number of delegates, and the math would be the same. For the Republicans, the process is pretty straightforward. You come in, you vote, usually through a secret ballot, and the percentages of the group supporting each candidate decides what delegates will go on to the county convention. The Democratic Party process is a bit more complicated. So let's say you have 6 candidates running for the Democratic nomination. In some cases, the first step is that supporters make their pitch to the other caucus goers for their favorite candidate. At the very least, the campaigns will be putting stickers on their supporters' shirts and pointing them in the right direction as they enter the caucus site. Next, caucus goers indicate their support for a particular candidate by standing in a designated area, forming what's known as a preference group. There may even be an area for undecided participants. Each group's counted and a percentage of support is calculated. Now here's a unique feature to the caucus. At this point, the caucus officials determine which candidates are viable. Depending on the number of county delegates to be elected, the viability threshold can be anywhere from 15 to 25% of attendees. For our example, any candidate polling less than 15% is declared unviable, and those persons must realign to a viable candidate or declare that they are undecided. Then, participants try and convince their neighbors to support their candidates. Each preference group might informally deputize a few members to recruit supporters from the other groups, and in particular from among those undecided. Undecided participants might visit each preference group to ask its members about their candidate. This is another feature that's totally unique to the Iowa caucus. You don't see anything like the electioneering that goes on in Iowa in states with primary systems like the one in New Hampshire. And also, caucus goers are really, really good at convincing undecided folks to support their candidate. After 30 minutes, the electioneering is temporarily halted. Supporters go back to their preference group and a new count's taken. When all the candidates left are still considered viable, then the caucus is over, and the delegates are assigned based on their percentage of support. Now, technically, all of these delegates advance to the county convention, which is actually only the second step in the caucus process. But, for the purposes of the media and for the campaigns, a winner can and usually is determined on caucus night, and that's the candidate that gets the most votes.
Now that you've seen how a caucus works, you are going to participate in our own SMS Presidential Caucus that includes parts of both the Democrat and Republican caucuses. Today we will listen to the top 3 candidates for the Democrat Party and then choose one by entering the candidate's room and voting for them. Tomorrow you will listen to the top 4 Republican candidates and then choose one that best represents you by entering that candidate's room and voting for them. This gives you an opportunity to hear a little bit about all of the major candidates in the upcoming election from both sides. When you listen to the videos and the supporters of each candidate, pay special attention to the qualities that you like. Use a pencil or pen to write down the things that you like or dislike about the candidates and their positions on the paper that's provided. After you have heard from all the candidates, you will have to choose which candidate you like the best and go back to the room that you heard about them. When you get there, simply open your Chromebook and go to Google Classroom. Then type in the class code provided by the teacher and answer the question in the stream. We hope you have fun with this and learn a little bit about how we start the process to choose our president in Iowa. Good luck.